Namaskar students, welcome to GDCA College channel. I'm Dr. Ashok Jogdan. Today we will check the blueprint for we can say examination May 2026. For those students who are appearing their examination in English language. So in this video we will check what are the parameters and what are the expected questions and everything in detail. And this video will be, this blueprint will be in 3 parts. There will be 3 videos which will be coming up. So watch all the videos in detail so that you will be able to get, entire information about that. So without wasting time, let's get started.
ध्येय नवीन समोर दिसतंय, बँकिंगचं स्वप्न पूर्ण होणार.
GDCA ची साथ जिंकायची ही वाट, यशाची गॅरंटी आता सुरुवात. GDCA कॉलेज
हो भविष्य उज्ज्वल,
GDCA कॉलेज
मिळणार यश.
सहकार आणि बँकिंग करिअर घडवा खास. GDCA कॉलेज देते यशाचा विश्वास.
In this GDCA exam success blueprint, what we can see is for particular course, we can say, or particular examination which are already in lineup in hardly 5 to 6 days away from now on. So you must read, you must study properly, at least analyze all those things, whatever things you have done, make a chart, prepare for it and go for it actually, whatever things are there. Exam pattern is very simple, as you already know that the paper is of 3 hours. Now every day there are 2 papers that collectively 6 hours sitting is there. So hardly 1 hour back, break is there for during the examination. So my marking strategy, what are the marking strategies are there for particular examination? This GDCA, that is Government Diploma in Cooperation and Accountancy. This examination is conducted by GDCA and a board. It's a diploma level course or exam, we can say, designed for cooperative sector professionals. Understanding the pattern deeply is the first step to score 80%. So how can you score 80% is also again important, and main task accordingly. To understand exam structure properly, so we have a table here. First subject, Management of Cooperative Housing Society, paper number 1, which is of 100 marks and passing 40 marks. Here already mentioned everywhere passing is 40 marks actually. But again, I'm telling you, so if you are applying for the first time, it is 40 marks each subject. If you score, you are pass already. So likewise, there is no practical actually in this. Only theory part is there. So by mistake, I have mentioned here practical. So please pardon me for that. Then next is account subject, paper number 2, same day on 26th May 2026. 100 marks paper, again 40 marks passing. Again here already practical is we can, if we can consider numerical part as practical, so that practical plus theory part is there. Then auditing, paper number 3, next day, that is on 27th May 2026. Third paper, first half third paper, auditing, 100 marks and 40 marks passing, and total theory. History, paper number 4, again second day's last paper actually, which is on 27th May 2026. 100 marks paper, 40 marks passing, theory again. Cooperative laws and other laws, this is the paper number 5, which is of 100 marks, out of which 40 marks passing if you are writing it for the first time, and then if you are writing it for second time, it is 50% or 50 marks passing. Okay, and in this paper, sections and theory is very important again. And next is last question paper is of cooperative banking and credit societies, paper number 6, 100 marks, which is again passing is 40 marks passing in the paper, and theory part is always there actually. Okay, the exam structure overview we have seen so far for 3 days. Okay, next part is marking and pattern analysis. Each paper is of 100 marks and have 3 hours to solve the entire paper. Typically section A, B, or we can say C, if you divide it in those formats. So section A is of short questions like 2 marks each. B is of medium questions like 5 or 10 marks each. Like we can say short notes mostly, 4 or 5 marks. Section C, long answers, 10 to 15 marks, 16 marks accordingly, or for account it is 30 marks. So depend on that. Okay. Accounts paper has practical problems worth of more than 50 to 60 marks or 70 marks, we can say. So you have to make sure that you will calculate all the account problems or solve all the account problems in proper manner, as well as mention working notes also in during the making of balance sheets, making of a profit and loss account and other trading accounts as well. So this is again very important, as well as in the BRSS also, machinery accounts, whatever things are there, you have to make sure that you will write all the calculations there. All papers are compulsory. No paper is optional until and unless you have any exemption in previous this examination, or if you have selected exams for CHM only. So for those students, it is only they can appear for three papers, that is CHM, audit, and accounts. These are the three papers for the CHM students. Okay. Minimum 40 marks required in each paper to pass. Answer paper strategy to how can you present your answer, or golden rules for the presentation for to get at least extra not 20-30 but minimum of 10-15 marks at least. If your answer is although wrong, you will get, or else you can say if something is missing, then still you will get good marks for the presentation. Okay, these are the potential marks actually. Those peer students who have pass their BCom, they know the presentation part actually. Always write the question number clearly before each answers. Use headings, subheadings properly, underline those, or whatever things are there, important things, you must underline that, so that examiner will get attracted to your answer and you will get marks for that as well. Leave at least one line gap between two answers, or two questions, we can say. In theory, write introduction, body, that with points means like actual question, and then conclusion in this format. In account, always write proper format, that is T format for ledgers, and columns for final accounts, like trial balance, we can say, or trading account, profit and loss account, and balance sheet format. Attempt all questions. Incomplete and no attempt will get 0 marks. At least write educated guesses for some mark. Okay. Note for particular strategy, like paper writing strategy. Examiner are cooperative professionals, so they reward student who use correct terminology, like audit memo, surcharge, section 73, dividend, and these things are, you should mention it correctly. So 3 hour time management in exam hall, actual time management for entire paper. 0 to 10 minutes, read entire paper carefully. If necessary, read twice, underline the important part, and or the best question, whatever question it very well, you should underline that and you can write, but make sure that you will attempt first question first, which is again very important. Okay. And then the rest of the question you can attempt accordingly. Next 10-15 minutes, write all questions numbers you will attempt on a rough sheet, we can say. Now, next 15-18 minutes, attempt long answers, that is section C first, which has highest marks, like 10 marks, 15 marks, 16 marks, 20 marks likewise. Next 80 to 140 minutes, attempt medium questions, section B, like short notes and other questions actually, like medium answer questions. And 140 to 165, attempt all short notes. 165 to 180 minutes, revision, recheck everything. Your roll number is correctly mentioned. Your center name is correctly mentioned. But this is the first part actually. When you start the writing examination, before start writing answers, you should write your roll number and center name correctly. Okay. And question numbers, whatever calculations are there, you must write properly. And those calculations have mark actually, so you have to write properly, follow the methods, write a formula and other things, and you can continue with the rest of the answers accordingly. So make sure that you will write all the calculations. Next is scoring strategy for 80% marks actually. So to score 85% in account by mastering final accounts format is very important again. BRS is also important, machinery accounts and rest of the things, very important actually. If you want to score 80 plus in history principle by memorizing, definitions and Rostel pioneers, ICA principles and all those things, very important for, history principle paper. Next is to score 80 plus in law by focusing on important sections like 73, 88, 91, 101, 102, 103, 104. These are the very important sections actually. So audit and other things are also important here. Score 75 plus in audit subject. Make sure that you should master in audit reports and formats and other things as well. Okay. To score 80 plus in housing society by mastering bylaws and provisions of the society, which is very important again. So you have to master it at any cost. To score 75 in cooperative banking and other banking by focusing on RBI guidelines, NABARDs and rest of the things is again important for that. Next is part 2, subject-wise analysis of all 6 subjects. The important chapters actually we can say. So what are the important chapters in that and how can you study accordingly? So those are important things actually. Management of cooperative housing society, subject number 1, we are gonna see now. Most important chapters, chapter number 1, introduction of housing societies, types, formation and registration. You must read this properly. Chapter number 2, bylaws of housing society, model bylaws 2014, general body meeting, AGM, SGM, quorum, agenda. These are the important points. Chapter 4, managing committee, powers, duties and disqualification. Chapter 5, maintenance charges, calculations, types, service charges, etc. Next chapter, dispute, penalty, surcharge, section 73, 88, 91. Chapter 7, transfer of flat, premium, NOC, share certificates. RERA, Real Estate Regulation Act provisions affecting societies. So these are the 8 chapters actually for most important chapters we can say for CHM paper. Most repeatedly asked questions, previous year's analysis we can say from 2016. What are the rights and duties of members of cooperative housing society? Repeated that 4 times. Explain the procedure for transfer of flat in cooperative housing society 5 times. What is an annual general meeting? What is the agenda and its quorum? 4 times. Explain the powers and duties of managing committee 4 times. How is maintenance service charge calculated? Explain different types 3 times. What is a surcharge? When can surcharge be imposed? Section 73, repeated 3 times. Explain the procedure for redevelopment of housing society. What is the role of registrar in housing society disputes? Okay, so these are the most repeated questions. So next section we're gonna see is like easy versus difficult topics. So what are the easy topics, easy scoring topics, and difficult topics or risky topics? Easy scoring topics, types of housing society, rights and duties of member, AGM procedure agenda, transfer of flat, step-by-step process, maintenance charges calculation, model bylaws, key provisions. What are the key provisions in model bylaws? Difficult or risky topics, audit classification of societies, RERA provisions in detail, redevelopment, legal complexities, model bylaws, all provisions, surcharge calculation, practical part actually we can say here. Liquidation of society. These are the most difficult or risky questions actually or topics to study. Next is most expected questions in the upcoming examination. Procedure for expulsion of members from housing society. What is the dispute settlement procedure under MCS Act 1960? Rights of tenant versus owner in a cooperative housing society. Explain parking rules and provisions in model bylaws 2014. What is the society's lien on flat? What can society exercise a lien? So these are the most expected questions actually. So we're going to see all the most expected question in coming video. Focus on what is the tip for particular subject. Focus on model bylaws 2014. At least 3 to 4 to at least 2 to 3 questions come directly from it every year. Subject 2, accounts, very important, actually most important chapters, basic accounting concepts and double entry system, journal entries and ledger postings. Chapter 3, trial balance and rectification of errors, BRS, bank reconciliation statement, final accounts, trading, profit and loss and balance sheet, adjustments in final accounts. So these 12 adjustments we're going to see in coming video. Cooperative society final account special format, depreciation method, SLM straight line method, WDV, that is written down value. Next, for account most repeated questions, prepare trading and profit and loss account and balance sheet, which is very important. And this question comes every year actually. A sheet from the given trial balance. Every year it has been asked for 30 marks. This is most important question. Prepare BRS bank reconciliation statement every year. Rectify errors and prepare corrected trial balance every year. It has been asked. Pass general entries in for given transactions every year. It has been asked. If you do these four questions or four chapters, we can say you will pass in the account subject, because account is very difficult so far, but you have to do at any cost these four. If you do and the rest you leave it, then you will pass in the account subjects. Okay. Calculate depreciation using SLM and WDV method. Prepare receipts and payment account of cooperative society. Final account with 8 to 10 adjustments. So in accounts, easy topics versus difficult topics. What are the easy topics for accounts? Journal entries, simple, ledger posting, trial balance preparation, depreciation, SLM straight line method, simple BRS, that is bank reconciliation statement. Difficult topics, BRS bank reconciliation with many errors, final accounts with all adjustments, rectification of errors, suspense accounts, then cooperative society final accounts format, consignment and partnership accounts. These are the difficult topics to study in the account subject. Next is auditing, third subject. Most important chapters for auditing: introduction to audit, definition, types and objectives. Chapter 2, cooperative audit under section 81 of Maharashtra Cooperative Act. Next, audit report, types, clean, qualified and adverse, disclaimer. Next, audit memo, that is Arop Patra in Marathi, format and contents. 5, audit classification of societies A, B, C, D. Surcharge under section 88. Vouching procedure and importance. Internal audit versus external audit versus statutory audit. These are the 8 most important chapters so far. Okay. So, and most repeatedly asked question. What are the repeatedly asked questions? Number 1, what is cooperative audit? Explain its importance and procedure. 5 times it has been asked. What is audit memo? That is Arop Patra. What are its contents? It is repeatedly asked 4 times. Explain different types of audit reports with a specimen. What is audit classification? Explain A, B, C, D classification criteria. So this is again very important question. Every time it has been asked. So this year also there are good chances to come this question in examination. What is vouching? How it is done in the cooperative audit? Explain the powers and duties of statutory auditor in cooperative audit. Surcharge under section 88 when applicable, and what is the procedure for. So these are the most important or repeatedly asked questions. Subject number 4, history, principle and management in cooperation. Most important chapters for particular subject. Chapter 1, meaning, definition, characteristics of cooperation. Chapter 2, Rochdale Pioneers, History and Rochdale Principles, that ICA's 7 principles. But in Rochdale principle, there are only 6 principles. 7th principle came in picture in 1995. Then chapter 7, ICA principles, 1995, all 7 principles in detail. This question, every year it has been asked, ICA principles. History of cooperation in India and Maharashtra. So if this question comes in different manner, like, here explain the history of cooperation. So you will have to write it from, history in world, history in India, history in Maharashtra, likewise. So make sure that you will, remember these steps. How can you write that accordingly? Okay. So steps are very important. Simple language you can write. It is not like that you will write in your, you have to write in standard format only. That is not like that. You can write in your language. There is no issue at all. You can, but only the presentation part is very important in answers. History of cooperation in India and Maharashtra that we have seen. Then types of cooperative societies. Next, cooperative movement in India. Important committees. What are the important committees? In important committees, you can say that are like Gorwala Committee and McLagan Committee. These are most important committees so far. Next chapter, management of cooperative organizations, role of AGM and MC, that is managing committee. 8, difference between cooperative and company partnerships. These are again important topics in history. Next is most important or repeatedly asked question for a history paper. Explain 7 ICA principles of cooperation in detail. It has been asked every year so far. So as I told you, like, you have to read or learn all the 7 principle in proper manner. So do not write 3 or 4. You have to write 7 principle at any cost. Next question, who are Rochdale pioneers? What were their original principles? As you know that, like, there were only 6 principles before ICA, and the 7th principle came in picture in 1995. After the Vaikundbhai Mehta's recommendation when he was the director of ICA. Distinguish between cooperative society and joint stock company. History of cooperative movement in Maharashtra, actually. So as we have seen in chapter, it is India and Maharashtra. So here, no question can become like history. Explain the history of cooperative movement in Maharashtra or India. We can say combined. They might ask. Explain the concept of one man, one vote. It is not one man, one vote. It is one member, one vote actually in cooperation. So please correct here, all those things here, as it is not one man. It is one member, one vote. This is the one of the ICS principles. What are the merits and demerits of cooperative form of organization? What is the role of NCUI and MSCU in cooperative developments? Next subject, cooperative law and other laws. Again, it is very important subject, we can say, because as you know that in law, you have to remember or memorize all the sections. We're going to see that in format, whatever things are there and what are the important sections. Chapter number 1, Maharashtra Cooperative Society Act 1960, important sections, registration of society, section 4 to 15, documents required, rights and liabilities of members, section 22 30, management, section 73, 73A, 73B, supersessions. So these are the main sections actually. Do not get confused between 3 of these sections, 73A, B. Audit Inquiry Inspection, section 81 to 86, dispute resolution, section 91, arbitration, winding up liquidation, section 102, 101, 110, Multi-State Cooperative Society Act 2002, key provisions, then Consumer Protection Act 2019, RTI Act 2005. These are the basic and most important part, we can say. So next part is most important sections. Now you must memorize all the sections in proper manner. As you know that, like, to understand in better way, we have here a table. In first column there are sections and subject matter. What is the matter for a particular section? Section number 4, societies which may be registered. 9, registration of society. 14, change of name of the society. 22, who may become a member. 24, vote of members. 25, liability of members. 73, management of committee powers. 73A, supervision of MC by registrar. MC is managing committee. Okay. 73B, election of MC, which is managing committee. 75, removal of MC member, that is managing committee member. 77, disqualification of MC member, that is managing committee member. Audit of accounts, inspection of books. 83, audit is 81. 88, surcharge. 91, dispute resolutions. 101, dissolution or winding up. 102, liquidator appointment. Dissolution we can say, or liquidation also we can say here. Okay. 104, powers of liquidator. So these are the most important sections. You must memorize all. So it is again very important. for a law paper. So in law paper, there are everywhere you will have to mention sections, all sections. But again, there was a question actually which has been asked to one of our students. She said that, like, sir, no, is it necessary to write all the sections in the examination? Or will I get pass, if I don't write, the sections? She said, like, all concepts are clear, but sections I am unable to recall those sections. So, sections are equally important as you clear with the concept. So you must learn all the sections. You can take this table and you can, take a print of it, and you have to, remember everything. This type of law paper. Next is most repeatedly asked question in law. Explain the procedure for a registration of cooperative society. Repeatedly asked 5 times. What are the grounds for a supervision of managing committee? Explain section 73A. Explain the dispute resolution mechanism under section 91. Explain the audit procedure under section 81. Make sure that if wherever it is mentioned audit, section 81 is there always. Okay, that will come into picture. So which is of MCS Act. That is my MCS Act. It is Maharashtra Cooperative Society Act 1960. This is again very important. Wherever you write short forms, you must make sure that you will write long form for that as well if necessary, and underline it. What is a surcharge under section 88 when it is imposed? Explain the winding up of cooperative society under section 101 to 110. So winding up means like liquidation of a society. Okay. Explain the provisions of Multi-State Cooperative Society Act 2002, which is again very important in the coming examination. These are the repeatedly asked questions. So out of these 7 questions, there are high chances you will get at least 3 to 4 questions from this. Next, subject number 6, cooperative banking and credit society. Again, very important subject. Most important chapters for banking subject: urban cooperative banks, types, RBI regulations. 2, district central cooperative bank, DCCB structure. 3, state cooperative bank, role in credit structure. NABARD functions, refinance, inspection, and role. These are the very important, in examination as far as exams concerned. NABARD always comes in, every year. There might be in short notes or long notes, or long answers, we can say. Primary Agricultural Credit Society, PACS, every year it has been asked in short notes or right answer in 300 words. Non-agricultural credit societies, employees urban, Banking Regulation Act 1949, section applicable to cooperative banks, NPA, capital adequacy, lending, priority sector lending norms. So these are the important 8 chapters for particular cooperative banking subject. And what are the most repeatedly asked or expected questions in coming examination? There are things actually which we're gonna see in coming videos. Most 50 repeatedly asked questions as well. So expected questions, we can say, for all subjects. But we're gonna see only questions, not answers. Answers are already given in the previous video, so you can check that video and for all the answers. Explain the 3-tier structure of cooperative credit in India. What is the 3-tier structure? It is always SCB, that is State Cooperative Bank, then DCCB, District Credit Cooperative Banks, and PACS, that is Primary Agricultural Credit Society. So these are the 3-tier structure, we can say. If this question is there in examination, you must write a diagram with SCB on top, then DCCB in middle, and the PACS at last likewise. So this will attract examiner towards your answer. Next is what is NABARD? Explain its functions in cooperative credit. It has been asked more than 4 times in every year. So either it will come in short notes or it will be there in long notes. And also there are abbreviations which you have to memorize all, because abbreviations has like somewhere around 20 marks examination or entire 6 subjects. Next, explain the role of urban cooperative banks in India. Next, what are non-performing assets NPA? How is NPA calculated? So you have to write entire things, calculations of NPA, which is again very important. No, more than 12 months, more than year or so. So these are the basic terms. Actually, you have to remember those terms. More than 90 days, somewhere like that. So these are the things you must remember to write this answer if this question is there in examination. Explain the dual control of urban cooperative banks by RBI and registrar. So examinations. So by using these some of the techniques, you can write answers. Always make sure that wherever there are long answers or long questions, you should write introduction, then whatever asked in the question, and then your conclusion. So you have to make sure that you will write in this format only. Introduction, you should underline that. Then whatever points are the main points and sub points, headings, subheadings, very important. Underline those headings if possible. If you are writing in English, if possible, write heading in the capital letters, and rest you can start with your as you go with the examination. Next, what is PAX? Explain its importance in rural credit. Next is explain priority sector lending norms for cooperative bankings or banks. So this is again newly added or newly expected questions so far. So these are the most important questions we have seen for 6 subjects, most important chapters and topics, what you can read and whatever things are there. Because as you know that there is very short period is left for examination. So you have to write or you have to study accordingly, and make sure that you will practice writing exam papers. So take a full scape papers and start writing on that. So in coming video, we'll see complete 10 days plan, study-wise timetable accordingly for every subject. How can you study? That will be of whoever is having more than 8 to 10 hours every day, for study. So again, it is not ideal for everyone, but still whoever is having at least minimum 8 hours to study. So for those students, they can go with this plan, which will be discussed in coming video. Okay. So in this video, we have seen answer writing strategies, 80% scoring strategies, what you have to write and what are the parameters to write the examination, as well as the time management in exam hall, actual time management for 3 hours, that is 180 minutes. And as well as we have seen almost for 6 subjects, the subject analysis or scoring analysis, we can say, subject-wise scoring analysis, including everything. So if you found this video informative, please do like, share with your friends who are appearing their examination in May 2026. And that will be, more useful for them, whoever is appearing their examination. To know more about our other programs, open schooling courses, distance courses, you can call us and get more information about it. As well as you can visit to our office and you can get in-person information as well. We'll see you in part 2 with the remaining updates of same video. Till then, namaskar.